The national parks are awesome. I have the pleasure of representing 7. I get to represent Big Bend National Park, which is headed by an amazing superintendent. She really is a treasure for the federal government. Y'all have a hard task to make sure that these jewels of our nation are around for future generations, and that future generations continue to interact with them in the ways that past generations have. It's been a real pleasure over the last 17 months that I've been in Congress when I crisscross the district and talk, throughout the country about encouraging Americans to find their park, or his or her park. This is an important resource for our country. It's unfortunate that we're here today talking about sexual harassment, poor culture of management. And my first question to you, Director Jarvis, is, and it's to piggyback on what my friend and colleague from New Jersey has been talking about. What steps are being taken to ensure there's zero tolerance for sexual harassment within the National Park Service?
Well, clearly, zero tolerance was not the standard at the Grand Canyon or at Cape Canaveral, Canaveral National Seashore, and that's just unacceptable. We, at the senior leadership, a discussion that I led in May, and this is the regional directors, the associate directors, and the senior superintendents of the organization, had a very open and emotional discussion about zero tolerance and why this agency has
what are you doing?
Has tolerated.
What are you doing right now? What concrete steps have been taken to ensure this culture changes?
So the first thing that we feel, as recommended by the Department of Defense, is a prevalence survey, and that is to get baseline understanding of whether or not or how much harassment is occurring in the workplace, in the service. So getting that survey done, we've committed to doing that by a third party as soon as possible. I can't give you a specific date because we have to go through a contracting process to get there. But that's the first step. We have reinforced a message to the field on zero tolerance, and I think we're making very public the actions we're taking at the Grand Canyon, in particular about disciplinary actions and expectations of behavior to meet the zero tolerance policy.
So Director Jarvis, in your opinion, and I know you're getting ready to do a survey, in your opinion, what allowed this kind of culture to seep in these two parks that we've been talking about today?
I think one was the conditions of the particular activity create an environment that vulnerable individuals can be preyed upon. So this is an area that Department of Defense has made within Defense, they have sort of special unit. In the Park Service, we have what we would call special units: river districts, fire crews, trail crews. These are places where individuals are thrown together in a tough environment, and the potential is there. So this is an area we're focusing on particularly right now. And we've made management aware across the system that these are areas that you need special attention. We have to create an ombudsman, an individual that individuals that are subject to this harassment can call safely. I mean, if it's your supervisor that is harassing you, that's a bad reporting chain if you have to report this to the person that's actually harassing you. So we've created the opportunity for, outside of that, to be able to report this issue so that we can get to, and if we find it, we're reporting it to the IG and saying we need to go in and investigate.
Well, you mentioned the fire crews. I also represent Guadalupe Mountains National Park. I know this place where you served with at one point over 14,000 acres on fire, and what those fire crews are doing is heroic work. And Ms. Kendall, my last 30 seconds to you. What types of steps should be taken by the National Park Service to address the poor culture of management and the lack of accountability and leadership?
Well, I think holding individuals accountable for misconduct. Mr. Jarvis is correct in that you cannot always make public how discipline is imposed, but doing it regularly. I mentioned progressive discipline, documentation. It's something that can be done, and if it's done properly, it's very effective.
I yield back, Mr. Chairman.
Thank the gentleman.